Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike here, and thank you for joining me on the PowerShell show. So, tonight I want to talk to you guys about what is PowerShell. And this is going to be another quick video just to kind of talk a little bit about what exactly PowerShell is. Um, it's something that you can Google and figure out pretty easily, but I figured I'd give you my take on it and what it is from my experience and my learning and all of that stuff. So, what is PowerShell? I figured I'd bring this up. You guys are probably going to do the same thing on your computers as well after this video or before this video or during this video. So, PowerShell is a task automation and configuration management framework from Microsoft's. So, the back end of PowerShell, or you could call it the back end, or you can call it the wrapper, or whatever you want to call it, is .NET. And if you guys have any experience with the .NET framework, that's pretty much what is the back end of PowerShell. So I wanted to open this up too because I thought this definition was interesting and pretty to the point. PowerShell is an object-oriented automation engine and scripting language with an interactive command line shell that Microsoft developed to help IT professionals configure systems and automate administrative tasks. I want to point this out. Help IT professionals. Now, people use this for a lot of different things. People create games with PowerShell. People create configuration management, which is, like Chef or Puppet. It's called desired state configuration, PowerShell desired state configuration. People create MAML configs for external help files. People create frameworks that you can test on. You test your code on, meaning there's so many different things that people are utilizing PowerShell for. People are even utilizing PowerShell for penetration testing. I'm actually kind of slowly but surely going through a book called the Hacker Playbook, the second version I'm going through right now. And again, slowly but surely, this this book is very in depth and it's very interesting. The amount of penetration testing going on nowadays through PowerShell. Um, I forget the link off the top of my head, but I'm gonna try to remember to put it in the show notes here. There was a attack. I would say I found it maybe a few months back, and it was actually nothing but a hyperlink. And you didn't have to click this hyperlink, you didn't have to go to the hyperlink. All you had to do was hover over the hyperlink. And it kicked off a PowerShell script, and this PowerShell script executed code that had malware in the code. And it's insane. It's mind-boggling what you can do with PowerShell and the different things that can be produced by PowerShell. Um, so what is PowerShell to me? PowerShell to me, for me, is all of these things. I use all of these things. And but primarily in my profession, I am a systems administrator and an engineer. So I primarily use it to automate tasks. Um, you know, one task that for example, that I'm doing right now is getting a certain security group into the local administrators group on all computers. And how am I doing this? Well, I'm not walking around to over 500 computers. I'm just gonna create a script and I'm gonna kick off this script and it's gonna move this security group into the administrators group and give them all specific permissions. Um, that's really what I'm using PowerShell for. I'm using PowerShell to automate tasks like that. Another good example that I've used PowerShell for more recently is pretty much how can I explain this? So imagine you have 8 sites, and these 8 sites have all different folders within a file server, right? So what I needed to do was I needed to take content, child items within folders, move them to different folders based on date and year and month. And I needed to do this for 8 different sites. So I essentially needed my script to go in one folder. While it's in that folder, move all of the child items to its specific month and its specific year. And then I had to have it bounce back out of that folder and do the same thing 8 times. Bounce into a folder, bounce out, bounce into a different folder, bounce out, etc. So, and that's not the only thing that you can use this for. I've created scripts to create network shares. I've created scripts to test network shares, see if they're live, see if they're available to the user. If they are available, map it, give it a drive letter, pick your drive letter, whichever one you want. Um, there, again, there's so many different things that you can do with PowerShell. And something else that I really, really want to stress, and I can't stress this enough, is that PowerShell is not just for systems administrators. It's not just for engineers. It's not just for automation engineers. It's not just for higher level tech. It's not. It's also for desktop support specialists. It's for technical analysts. It's for the help desk department. I could even take it a step further and say it's for users, right? Users can run commandlets. Users can, if they need to know how many folders and how big those folders are and the files within the folders, um, they could use PowerShell. I mean, you don't want to give them too many rights, and you don't want to give them too much power to really royally screw something up on their machine, or even worse, screw something up within the domain. I don't foresee any of us giving users rights like that, but I really believe that it's for everybody in a sense. Um, Perfect example right now, I'm kind of going through something where I'm trying to automate more tasks for our help desk department, right? I don't want them to have to click around anymore and click next anymore and go into Active Directory users and computers and select a user and drag them into a different OU or change their name or change whatever attribute. Like, I don't want them to have to do this manually. It doesn't make any sense. We don't have to do these things manually anymore. So I'm creating scripts. I just created a new user script based on our environment. You can find 1,000,001 different new user scripts, but I just decided to create mine because I think it's specific to different environments. There's different things going on. I created disable user script to disable things in AD and outside, and things for Exchange and things for Google for Business. There's all these different things that you can do, and thankfully to modules and different people creating these modules. Um, Again, I've created a script to map network drives and to test network drives. I've created scripts to move users between different OUs, and instead of, the help desk folks having to put in that big long base DN to point to the specific OU and the nested OU and the parent OU and your domain, and they don't have to do any of that. It's already embedded in. They just have to pick what OU they want to move it to, just the one name OU. They don't even have to put OU equals whatever the OU name is, nothing like that. I'm explaining all of these things not to kind of toot my own horn here, but to just kind of explain that it's not just for people that want to write 200 lines of code. It's really truly for everybody in a sense. So I think that pretty much wraps this up. Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing. I wanted to show you guys this as well. So PowerShell is an object-oriented programming language or scripting language or whatever you want to call it. Some people say it's not a programming language. Some people say it's just a scripting language. Whatever, right? I believe it's both. I believe that you can do programming in it. People create applications and people create games, and to me, that makes it a programming language. But to each their own. So just take a look here at the different types of object-oriented languages, right? And you have some of your popular ones in here. You have Java, you have C++, you have C Sharp, again, .NET. This is what PowerShell is built on. You have PHP, you have Ruby, you have Perl. You have all these different languages that are very similar. And to me, the way I try to explain it is it's like learning learning a different language, pun intended, right? So let's just say you know English and you're trying to learn Spanish, right? It's hello is hello in English and in Spanish, but it's just said differently. It's spelled differently, right? And that's how it is in these programming languages. A function is still a function. A variable is still a variable. It's it's just written differently and it's interpreted differently. Um, so now I'm ready to wrap this up. My next video, I'm gonna make a second part to this of what is PowerShell. And for the second video, we're going to start to dive into the PowerShell console. And we're going to do a little bit in ISE. And maybe I'll leave Visual Studio for one of the more advanced courses. And, of course, you guys will be able to see that as well if you want to jump in, or you can stick with the beginner intermediate courses for now. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that this video was kind of a little bit helpful, maybe. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Thanks.